In 2018, the organizers of the 2026 World Cup stood in front of football fans and made a specific promise. Group stage tickets would start at $21. They called it the blueprint for a People's World Cup, a tournament built for everyday fans, not just corporate sponsors.
So you and all of you, bring your game to the beautiful game. We are FIFA. We are football.
7 years later, that promise is completely gone. Today, if you want a seat at a lower demand group match, say Ivory Coast against Curacao, the absolute cheapest ticket on the market is $165. If you want to watch the United States play Paraguay, let's say, the baseline price on the resale market jumps to $767. And if you want a premium seat to watch the World Cup final, a single ticket costs $8,680. That's 7 times more expensive than a similar seat at the 2022 final in Qatar. We are looking at a massive gap opening up between the people who run the football and the people who actually watch it. So how did we get here? How did the biggest football tournament in the world become something ordinary fans can't afford? The answer starts with tickets.
And in turn, the atmosphere will then suffer.
1,500 tickets, the cheapest costing £500, remain on sale for England's opener against Croatia. The USA's curtain raiser is still thousands short of capacity, and tickets for the final aren't getting any cheaper.
FIFA didn't just raise prices, they changed the entire system around how tickets are sold. And once you see how that system works, those high prices start making sense. It comes down to 4 specific choices. First, they introduced dynamic pricing. Historically, a ticket had a fixed price based on the seat and the match. Dynamic pricing changes that. The ticketing software tracks buyer behavior in real time. The moment the system sees a lot of fans searching for a specific match, price spikes instantly. It doesn't matter what stage of the tournament it is, the volume of people looking at the screen drives up the cost. Second, FIFA built their own official resale platform. Instead of stopping scalpers, they integrated them. Anyone can list a ticket for whatever price they want. There is no cap. On top of that, FIFA takes a 15% fee from the seller and another 15% from the buyer. Because sellers know they are losing 15% to the platform, they push their listing prices even higher to make their money back. Third, they expanded the tournament format. More teams mean more fan bases entering the market at the same time, which pushes demand to record levels. Finally, look at where the tournament is happening. Mexico, Canada, and the United States. These are high-income markets, packed to domestic corporate buyers and affluent tourists, where the local cost of travel and entertainment is already high. The BBC tried to answer a simple question. What does it actually cost for a regular family to follow their team in North America? They looked at an English couple traveling to watch 3 group stage games. The base cost for flights and hotels sits at £5,791. Tickets for those 3 matches on the resale markets add another £4,000 plus £520 in platform fees. When you add standard daily expenses for a 2-week stay in major North American cities, the total reaches £12,000 or roughly £6,400 per person. For some fans, that's manageable. For others, it's more than they make in months. The ticket prices are only one part of the shift. The structure of the tournament itself is also changing. Since 1998, fans have watched a very specific format. 32 teams divided into 8 groups of 4. It was simple to follow. The top 2 teams advanced and the bottom 2 went home. Every group match mattered because one bad day could knock out a major country. That format is gone. Now we have a 48-team tournament that lasts 39 days, making it the longest World Cup ever staged. FIFA is using a system of 12 groups of 4 teams. Under these new rules, the top 2 teams from each group still advance. But to fill out a brand new round of 32 knockout stage, 8 of the best third place teams will also qualify for the next round. Think about what that means for the games. A country can now move forward in the World Cup without winning a single match, potentially getting through on 2 low-scoring draws and goal difference. The group stage becomes a prolonged survival exercise where teams can calculate how to play defensive, low-risk football just to sneak through as a top third place side. Survival might come down to who received fewer yellow cards or their standing in the FIFA index. Expanding the field to 48 teams also means a wider gap in team quality. We're going to see more matches between traditional football powerhouses and heavy underdogs. That usually leads to a specific style of play. A low-ranked team putting 11 players inside their own penalty box and playing exclusively for a 0-0 draw. When you increase the number of matches to 104, the tournament changes from a rare event into a daily presence for nearly 6 weeks and could also suffer from a drop in quality. When an event expands to fill more broadcast hours and larger stadiums, the cultural flavor often changes too. You can see the shift in the creative choices surrounding the 2026 tournament. Take the official song Lighter. The past World Cup anthems used musical traditions, languages, and rhythms from the host country. In 2010, Shakira's Waka Waka sampled traditional African music and felt connected to South Africa. But how do you represent Mexico, Canada, and the United States at the same time in one track? The organizers hired hitmakers to produce a song with completely universal lyrics. Phrases about feeling free, getting higher, and chains rattling. It sounds like something designed to play in the background of a commercial. It doesn't have a direct connection to the streets of Mexico City or the youth culture of Toronto or the musical history of Los Angeles. Look at the tournament logos. The 2014 Brazil logo used stylized hands interlaced to form the shape of the trophy, using the green and yellow of the flag. The 2018 Russian logo used deep blues and gold patterns referencing traditional art and space achievements. Now look at the 2026 logo. It is a photograph of the actual World Cup trophy sitting on top of a black and white 26. That's it. It is minimalist and clean, but it doesn't tell a story about the places hosting the matches. It looks like an image designed for a corporate slide deck. Beyond the style and the format, there's the practical reality of how people move between matches. When Germany hosted in 2006 or when Qatar hosted in 2022, the tournament was geographically compact. A fan could book one hotel room, catch a local train in the morning, watch a game, and sleep in the same bed that night. Travel was localized and relatively simple. North America is a different scale. This tournament is spread across 3 countries spanning thousands of miles and multiple time zones. The distance from Vancouver to Miami alone is over 4,500 kilometers. There are no cross-country fan trains. Supporter groups cannot easily hop on a bus to follow their teams. They have to book multiple domestic flights, handle airport security, and change time zones every few days. Then there is the legal aspect, visas. To enter the United States, foreign nationals need a valid visa or travel authorization. Right now, standard visa processing faces long backlogs, and there are restrictions for citizens of 39 different countries. Immigration authorities have stated that there will be no special fast-track lanes for fans holding match tickets. This means many passionate fans from parts of South America, Africa, the Middle East, and Asia who won tickets in the official lottery might not get an embassy interview in time to enter the country. We could see situations where teams walk onto the pitch and look at empty supporter sections, with seats occupied instead by local corporate ticket holders. The traditional international fan culture will look very different inside the stadium. The final shift involves the players themselves and the physical limits of a long season. For the past 2 years, elite players have been talking about schedule fatigue. Changes to the European club formats have added more mandatory midweek games. Many athletes are arriving at international tournaments after playing over 60 high-intensity matches for their clubs, carrying minor injuries and fatigue. Now those players are entering a 39-day summer tournament across 3 time zones and different climates. Several prominent players have already suffered major injuries and dropped out of squad selections before the opening match. When players are exhausted, the pace of the game changes. We might not see the fast transitions and intense pressing that define peak club football. Instead, as the summer weeks go on, the matches are likely to slow down. Teams will look heavier in their runs and slower in their decision making. By increasing the number of broadcast blocks, the schedule naturally puts a heavy physical burden on the athletes. The shift to the 2026 World Cup isn't about bad planning. It's about a change in philosophy. The organizers are treating the tournament like a modern digital asset, something that needs to grow larger and appeal to every possible demographic at the same time. We see this happening in a lot of industries right now, where products are smoothed out and expanded to reach the widest possible audience. But football didn't become a global phenomenon because it was a perfectly polished entertainment package. It captured people's imagination because it was rare, because it was difficult, and because it was tied to specific local passions. A World Cup match felt like a historic event because it only happened once every 4 years, featuring players at their absolute peak in front of fans who had traveled the world to be there. When you double the number of games, raise ticket prices beyond the reach of regular citizens, create border hurdles for traditional supporter groups, and extend the schedule for exhausted players, the event changes character. In trying to make the tournament appeal to everyone, they're changing the very things that made people love it in the first place and destroying the soul of the game. I'm Balaji. I'll see you next time. Bye.